Good morning, Monrovia. Good morning, Habel. Good morning, Rabel Shield. Good morning, Rabel Sport. Good morning, Tudota. Good morning, Salala. Good morning, Macaque City. Good morning, Totmanburg. Good morning, Clay. Good morning, Bo Waterside. Good morning, Riverside. Good morning, Bapulu. Good morning, Buchanan. Good morning, La. Good morning, Carwell. Good morning, Brewerville. Virginia, Camp David. My rebel edge. This is 50 on a Tuesday morning on Sky 107.1 FM with this topic. Who was the late Dr. Joseph Saye Guanue? What did he stand for, and what were his contributions to Liberians and the Liberian state? What were his core principles and values and ideology? I've invited three personalities who I think should know him more than any one of us at around this time. We have invited Dr. Togbah Nah Tipoteh, founding father of the Movement for Justice in Africa, MOJA. We have also invited our presidential candidate in person of Councillor Tiawan Saye Gongloe of the Liberian Peoples Party and the national chairman of the party, Yanqui Zaza. By 11 o'clock, our lines will be open, so you make use of those two numbers, 07777 107. You'll be live on 5050 on Sky 107. Better still call us on 077221223. Those numbers are pinned on our Facebook page, Sky Communications Liberia. Of course, my name is T-Max. I'm the only grandson of my grandfather. And 50-50, you just can be the experience. We'll be back right after the theme song.
They have done it again.
What excitement! Share the good news now.
My picking tried to Côte d'Ivoire yesterday, and he's still calling me on a number. He's still pressing on it all.
Nothing makes me more relaxed than being able to work and stay connected without interruption, whether I am at home or away.
They have done it.
More travels, more possibilities. With a just released roaming data bundle for travelers to Côte d'Ivoire, Guinea-Conakry, and Mali, you can now stay connected on the go. Dial *535# to activate a plan ranging from $1 for 25 megabytes to $20 for 1 gigabyte. The new roaming data bundle, an offer for you,
brings you closer to what matters.
Orange.
It's possible, anytime, anywhere. A way to make you smile from ears to ears. With Orange Money new broken fees, you can take off your own sekabagi and keeps you smiling. A smile that comes from the heart. A smile that keeps you ongoing. A smile that lasts forever. More smiles with Makabagi. Discover the Orange Money new broken tariff. Withdraw and transfer money to your loved ones now at less expensive fees and experience more advantage with Orange Money broken tariff.
Orange Money.
After being in the business for more than 20 years, Uptown Garage has all it takes to make your car work best for you. Uptown Garage has brought in all sizes of new quality tires. We also have the efficient and long-lasting Uptown batteries. Uptown Garage has also brought in a state-of-the-art 2022 upgraded diagnostic machine that can easily detect any problem with your car. Don't worry, we can fix it for you. Is your car having any electrical problem? Well, Uptown Garage has a professional electrician from Ghana who is up to the task of programming and solving all of your car electrical problems. Uptown Garage is at the intersection of Broad and Nelson Streets with the Uptown Spare Parts Store on Broad Street side. We have our garage and new showroom at Rehab at the junction of President Weah's residence. For original spark plugs from Japan, oil filters, engine oil, and everything you need to get your car working perfectly, come to Uptown Garage. We give 1 month warranty. We also provide a tow truck free of charge if we are the ones to work on your car. But we can also tow your car anywhere for a fee. Contact Uptown Garage Head Office on 0777 553317 or 0886 553317 or our rehab branch on 0770 902865. Uptown Garage, your 100% Liberian owned, is here to put a smile on your face.
Thank you very much. Back on 50/50 on the Tuesday morning on Sky 107. I'm privileged to host Dr. Togbah Nah Tipoteh, political icon. So a founding member of the founding father of Movement for Justice in Africa. And I'll say this any day. I'm not going to be apologetic. MOJA, one of the most conscious group or rare breed of Liberians. So we have him today as our special studio guest as we talk about the fallen brother, statesman and academic, Dr. Joseph Saye Guanue. Nowadays that Dr. Tipoteh is here today, we also have the national chair of the Liberian Peoples Party, Yanqui Zaza, along with Liberian Peoples Party presidential hopeful, Councillor, and my own lawyer, Councillor Tiawan Gongloe. When we came from jail, when nobody could plead my case, Councillor Gongloe stood up there and told them, I will plead for him. When he goes to jail, I will go to jail. That's how indebted we are to one another based on our belief and our struggle. We watch each other's back. So I'm privileged to have them today. But before we go into that, let me give you the banner headlines of the 6 newspapers I have today. They are the Heritage newspaper, the Inquirer newspaper, Analyst newspaper, Observer newspaper, and the Front Page newspaper. That'll do a lot of reading, but I'll just go through then the front and back pages. Let's begin with the Heritage. Says U.S. Embassy corrects the record on next biometric VR systems. The photo of the ambassador, His Excellency Michael A. McCarty. Amid renewed call from national CSOs, others, sanctioned officials bowed and quit government. I see the photos here. The Nathaniel Magay, Simon Sereno Sifa. Magay was a former Minister of State for Presidential Affairs. Sereno Sifa, former Solicitor General. And this guy who called himself Bwekubwe, the former Managing Director of the Port of Monrovia, claiming undue political glory in the wake of the Fishtown Calibo Road. On his ascendancy as King of the United Kingdom President, we are congratulating King Charles III. IT experts, others discuss the future of internet in Liberia. Professor Tape provides clarity on pro-poor loan scheme. The back page of the Heritage newspaper says CDC gears up for Standard Bearer 56th birth anniversary. The photo of money is here to track detention status of inmates, others, condo and bags on visitation of prison. That would do for the Heritage newspaper. That is followed by Inquirer newspaper. The Philip we just said, we are sanctioned allies exit government. The scene photos. LLA launches website emailing system. We have NPP, the executive crosses over to ANC. The photo of Louis Brown. We are commission work permit digitalization today. The back page of the Philip Richard's paper said visual and impaired men bloody each other on Broad Street. Inquirer publisher Clark's 64 in grand style. Gina photo is here. We move over to the analyst newspaper. Say, coming the right man, Louis Brown said that endorses ABC for presidency. The U.S. denies sending diplomatic note on voter registration, but stresses importance of voter data security. Vice President Joe Howard Taylor addresses AFCFTA conference on women and youth in trade, says impact after must spread out across Africa. The back page of the analyst newspaper says big trio resignations, Magé, Seaford, Twewe, Kuwait amid controversial sanctions. Low enrollment in schools as parents lament hardship. Mita young female employees, honor speakers at Grand Bassa University. Move on to the Observer newspaper says, this is a trending story, sanctioned officials forced to resign. That's the question they ask, when they're forced to resign. You got to read the paper. Who's telling the truth? U.S. Embassy denies the existence of diplomatic note, based on which acting foreign ministers Sawyer wrote a letter to NEC expressing concerns about the biometric note registration process. Senator want pension scheme repealed. The photos of President pro tempore of the Liberian Senate, Abochad and Daros DeLong Cummings. Cummings lends key political endorsement, the photos of Cummings and Louis Brown. The back page of the Observer says House amends PFM law to push decentralization. Deputy Speaker complete 3 schools, 2 ongoing. That's going to be in ground crew. The last paper is the front page newspaper that says designated official resigned as president. We have thanks the 3 high-ranking S officials sanctioned by the U.S. Department of the Treasury for public corruption for their service to their country, choosing right over wrong. Former Information Minister Louis Brown endorses Cummings' presidential bid. Eagle eyes on the PPCC. Embassy urges the Public Procurement Concession Commission to vet company for biometric materials with transparency and integrity. It says it never requested the specimen from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Stowaway Nigerians killed, 12 rescued. Members of the Senate take issue with the House over rejection of the new pension bill, says it's been politicized for their own benefit. All pension law more evil is the question they ask. Jeremiah Kuhn says, and I quote, as a result of a pension law passed in 2003, former lawmakers are entitled to receive 4,000 United States dollars as pension benefit, and it is that law that the Senate seeks to amend to meet the current day reality. The current amended bill, if passed, will give lawmakers who retire honorably after 6 years in office $800 monthly salary and not $4,000 as it is in the existing 2003 law. Jeremiah Kuhn said that. The back page of the front page newspaper said the National Investments Commission launches new website to attract more foreign direct investments. That will do for all the newspapers I have today. You can you can buy them and read them. You know exactly what is trending in Liberia. But the most trending story today we're learning is the resignation of, they call them the 3 musketeers. That's not what I call them. I call them the 3 ex-government officials. So we're here to discuss the passing of a great man, Joseph Saye Guanue. So we have invited Dr. Tipoteh, Yanqui Zaza, and Tiawan Gongloe. So let me start with Dr. Tipoteh. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning.
Good morning, the national chair of the party.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to my lawyer and the presidential aspirant of the Liberian Peoples Party.
Good morning. It's always a pleasure to be on 50-50.
Thank you very much. Let me start with Doc. And let me give it the way I feel about it. I think I was introduced to Saye Guanue sometimes when we were in high school. You, Dr. Sawyer, family, I think they did that. People did that introduction of the man. And I started following that man from the distance. But you read his material, you see this contribution, the stuff he's made of, the group that you were associated with, the contribution they made to society. My shocking regret is he died as Avis or nobody. What is the problem? How do you know this great man in your standing happens to die and he seems to be a nobody?
Well, thank you again. I hope you will allow me to say what is the most important way of evaluating somebody. The most important way of evaluating somebody, including Professor Dr. Joseph Saye Guanue, is to find out what is the most important problem in Liberia and how does his life contribute to solving that problem. The most important problem in Liberia is poverty. It's poverty. Almost all Liberians have less than 300 Liberian dollars a day. Almost all Liberians, over 80% Liberians have. So now the question is, how do we solve this problem? Because it's been used as a pretext for violence, including coup d'etat and civil war. Went through civil war here, killed at least 300,000 persons, damaged the infrastructure, and left the economy unrecovered to the pre-war level. So it is something that we need to pay close attention to. Now, Professor Dr. Guanue, we have to look at his contribution in terms of how it's helping us to solve problems. It's helping us to solve problems because his knowledge of Liberia, before this country was founded 175 years ago, and what is that? He has brought out information, knowledge about who we are. It's not possible to solve any problem if you don't know who you are, what your culture is, how you grow food, how you eat, how you dress, how you sing, how you dance. We are here under the American culture, so we do not know how to solve our own problem. So Dr. Guanue then is great. When you say great statesman, and I agree with you, he's great because his knowledge of Liberia from the time people settled here centuries ago up to now helps us to know how to solve problems. And this is the tradition of the movement for justice in Africa. And I'm here as the founding father or founding leader. And so we want them to spread this knowledge. And it's only with the spreading of this knowledge that people then can learn how to solve problems non-violently, because violence is not an option.
So let me go to our presidential aspirant. He too hails from Nimba County. Mr. President, what? Okay. You want a presidential face on the camera anyway. What would you say about Joseph Saye Guanue? How did you meet him? How did you come across him? How did he come across? Who was he? What did he stand for? What did he do for the upliftment and the development of society?
Let me first say, may his soul rest in peace. Dr. Guanue was a man of peace. He was a quiet man. I don't know. I knew him for a long time, and I don't remember seeing him angry one day. Yeah, I don't remember seeing him angry one day. And I had a privilege, and I say privilege, of working with him during the interim government for 4 years. And you approach him at the Ministry of State, and no matter what you have in your mind, you will be calm. You will calm yourself before you talk to Dr. Guanue. And you always had a solution to problem because he was a thinker. And like Doug was saying, you know, he identified poverty, but I think the other aspect of it, which MOJA actually concentrated on in the 70s, was conscientization of people. So our major problem here also is ignorance. You know, ignorance is ignorance that strengthens the poverty in this country. And Dr. Guanue committed himself to teaching people, giving us knowledge, you know, fighting ignorance by his research to know who Liberians, for Liberians to know who they were. And he did a great job on that. He was writing history before Liberia came into existence, and the experience of Liberia, the inaugural speeches of all presidents of Liberia. He even wrote a human rights book that the Catholic Church was using through Archbishop Francis. He wrote history of Liberia from 1980 up to the war. He wrote history of Liberia. So he was always recording so that we don't forget, you know, because knowledge, lack of knowledge, the Bible itself says it, that lack of knowledge, people perish. So Dr. Guanue was there helping to fight lack of knowledge, to inform us so that our ignorance level can drop. And in that one, I think he and the late President Togbah agreed that Togbah said we had three strong enemies in Liberia: poverty, ignorance, and disease. And then he concluded the worst enemy that Liberia had was ignorance, and still is ignorance. And so Dr. Guanue will go down in history as one man who was fighting ignorance to educate us. And as someone who worked with him, I'm saddened by the fact that most of the people I work with at the Ministry of State in the office of the president are gone. You know, Swansea Elliott was the first one.
Yes,
the great writer.
Yes, Swansea
Elliott. Mr. Gelimina Flombo, a strong student activist, fearless student activist. He's gone. Alfonso Kawa is gone. And now we have
Dr. So you're living in a world of nostalgia for you.
Yeah, and I was like, I started thinking about all of them. Good thing, I don't feel I feel bad about losing Dr. Guanue, but Dr. Tipoteh will bear me out. There was not a day I went to Sanigule that I didn't reach on Fangalo Avenue where Dr. Guanue was. It was my duty to go there and sit with him. And I saw him deteriorating 2 years ago.
So he died in Sengbe?
In Sanigule.
Okay.
He chose to go to Sanigule. Before the war, he said, I will retire in Sanigule. That's where I will remain until I pass. So it was a choice to go. It's a choice to
go back home.
So when he was retired by Cotton University, and we must give praises to Cotton University because they kept his name alive by naming a department in his honor. I think the social sciences department. He was also teaching at the University of Liberia by Magida. So when he stopped teaching, when he felt he was weak, now he retired to Sanigole and was there waiting for his time. And people used to go around, talk to him. He was a source of wisdom for a lot of the people teaching at the Nima Community College. He would sit with them. And I saw him leaving the room and coming and sitting on the porch with me a while. And then I also saw at a time when he couldn't leave the room.
Wow.
And I saw him deteriorating last like 6 months ago. I knew the time was coming, but it was difficult. It's always difficult to accept that that time would come for someone who was so prolific in writing. And he was still entertaining when he was still speaking. He was entertaining the idea of writing another book because he had stack of papers.
He had a lot of manuscripts.
He had stack of papers in his room, but again, as Christian, we have to say, man proposes and God disposes.
Mr. Chairman, what do you remember most about that man?
Well, I think in 2020, the Liberian Peoples Party decided and made a visit to see him in Sanigule. We visited him, and for some reason, he didn't want to talk to us because he didn't know us. Besides that,
what do you mean
people have politicized. Some of us were very young. Most of the people were there.
Okay.
people have politicized their visit, and the chairman got concerned, and they told him to reduce visitation. So we had to make a telephone call. So I decided to call Dr. Togbah Nah Tipoteh, the late Dr. Amos Sawyer, George Kompu, so he could feel that the group that went to visit him were not strangers. We're not there to publicize the visit. We were sincere. And of course, he decided to talk to us. And he spoke for a long time, guiding us, telling us that we have tough days ahead of us. It was good because we wanted to show to the young colleagues that, look, life is not about getting rich. It's about your contribution. Here's a man who wrote books. They are teaching, using the books to educate students. But here he is. He doesn't have mansions. He doesn't have fleet of cars that people use today to value people. That's what Dr. Tipoteh was talking about. What are we using as a yardstick to judge people? Number of the houses or your contribution to reduce ignorance, as Councillor Tiawan said.
Let me go back to that. You knew him the days of MOJA. He died the way he died. But Tiawan said in his hometown, Sengbe, the how it's called, now we call it Sanikwele. If you look at the sort of contribution this guy made from conscientization of young people when we were recruited to the literary act, his contribution to universities and colleges and high schools, he died. He died. Has that ever crossed your mind as to whether it is still necessary that we made this sort of sacrifice to the upliftment of society, even though society might be so cruel to us in terms of appreciation with Dr. Tipoteh, the conscientization they brought, one man, one vote, or the bullet, I'll take the bullet on my chest, or if we just let them go into the oblivion and accept it, nobody's. What lesson are you learning from your days in association, your association with Dr. Guanue, especially in the days of MOJA?
Well, in one sentence, Dr. Guanue walk the talk. Many of us talk, but do not walk the talk. How did he walk the talk? He walked the talk by making a choice. And the choice he made was to tell the truth. Let the truth prevail. I'd rather be poor in money, but rich in character. Than be rich in money and poor in character. He made a choice. And that choice, I thank God I am able to make it. At 27 years of age, I got my doctorate degree. I'm 81 now. I could be the richest person in Africa. But to do that, I will say, follow the president that says 2 + 2 = 5. You know, if I know the T-Max Gelate, I know now. If you were to give him 1,000, the hardest currency in the world, and giving his background, and you give somebody else $1 billion of the hardest currency in the world, T-Max Gelate will be into problem solving, especially poor people, than the other person who has $1 billion. Why? Because of his character. And so you have to make a choice. There are good and bad people everywhere. It doesn't have to do with who American Liberians good, Native people bad, or this. That's why Dr. Guanue, from his writing of the truth, unified the people of Liberia. So no matter where you come from, if you are good, then you are good for Liberia. If you are bad, you're not bad. So let the good people unite. And his writing, he's passed away, but like Professor Dr. Sawyer, his memory will not pass away because we have that knowledge with us. The knowledge will not pass away. And so he remains relevant.
What is that motivation, Doc? I keep asking guys, because some of us pass through 4, 5, 6 generations. What is the motivation, especially these guys called the MOJA guys, live in a completely different world, I would say. What is the makeup? What drives you? You want to serve society, even if it means that you don't build a house? You want to serve society, even if that would take you to court, to jail? What is the makeup like?
Well, it's our background. Let's face it, the background. I talk about T-Max, I know his background. For instance, now, this is not personalizing, it's institutionalizing it. Your background. Now, you are in Broadville. You are a member of the Zion Grove Baptist Church. I was there to induct the deacon board when the late Wesley Johnson passed away. You know, and look at the background. You see, their parents, their grandparents, how they grew up, how they went to sleep after taking bath, but rat got there at their feet because they were barefooted. And they made a choice based on that background. Therein lies the motivation. You ask, motivation is, how come you're doing this and not doing the other thing? You see? And you're doing the right thing because you come from a right background. And that background doesn't have, it's not money driven. It's not led by money.
The sacrifice.
It's not led by money. And we have excellent examples to go by. Whether you're Christian, you're Muslim, you have excellent, you read the Bible, you read the Quran. You find there, for instance, in the Gospel according to St. Matthew, chapter 22, verses 34 to 40, when Christ was being mocked and said, well, you're talking a lot. Tell us what's the most important thing. He said, love God first and love your neighbors as yourself. If you love your neighbors as yourself, you make a choice. And you, T-Max, have made a choice. You could be somewhere and say, look, I will promote you for this and this. You give me $1,000 a day, but you're not doing that. Now, what you're doing, why we're here, and we thank you for having us here, is to spread awareness. Now, you sitting there, if I show you respect and not cuss your ma, so forth, if I say, get up from the chair because we'll break soon, you, T-Max, will get up from the chair. But if I cuss your ma, do this, I don't communicate with you well, you will not get from the chair. So we have made a choice. You have made a choice, and we've made a choice. And now our work is to try to get the good people together.
Okay, so let's look at that. And maybe I want to be political, and I think I ought to be political. Guanue's contribution, so immense. He went to the university. He went to the State House. He performed, especially when Liberia was shot on between. Do we perpetually remain in chaos? Somebody has to sacrifice to be poor and bring stability to Liberia. He said all that. He wrote books. My question is, somebody of that nature, he wrote books that are taught in our schools, not being paid for that. What is our greatest contribution as our government, as people who live and get enlightened by this creation? What are we so? What is his death? A fellow called me that was telling brother, a guy called me and said, Tima, let's talk about Guanue. I said, Guanue is not in my age group, but I know Guanue quietly. But I'll bring people today that will discuss Guanue. Then tomorrow we'll discuss Guanue. Why is it that way?
I think you asked a very important question. Our president was quick in hours, if not even minutes, to express sympathy to the people of Great Britain and talk about the great person Queen Elizabeth was. I've not heard him say anything about that of Guanue. The man who contributed so much for strengthening our knowledge and fighting ignorance. And you know, if people have knowledge, it helps to unite people. If we will know, it helps us to know we are all the same. For example, I read a book written by Sir Harry Johnston, and then he has pictures inside. In that book, it showed that in the 1800s, Liberian men were plaiting their hair. And the picture also show people
wearing earrings.
Men wearing earrings
Liberian.
In some parts of the country, in your area, refugee area, all of
No,
that.
I'm not from Rebel. I'm from Brown.
Okay, Gribble.
In the southeast.
In the southeast.
Okay.
I saw all of those. And I said, oh, these things are happening now. And I saw women wearing the anglets. And pictures in there with women wearing anglets, bride anglets and all that, way back, head wives. So I said, okay, so if we know this, then we know it's not new.
It's not new.
That is how
it is just evolving. It's
people
not new.
who write help us to know who we are. And that's what Dr. Guanue was doing. I mean, I talked to an old man a few days ago, a journalist. This maybe the oldest journalist in town, Jim C. Dennis, Cesar Dennis, the late Cesar Dennis, eldest brother. He's 93 years old, and I had him on live, and people were making comments, and he said, Liberia, the first place that Liberia started, the first group of people that started producing shoes were local people. His father was a district commissioner in Vonjaman, and saw the people making shoes from cow skin. And at that time, the Frontier Force, the precursor to the AFL, were barefooted people with a red hat. And then his father informed President Barclay, and then President Barclay said, well, I don't know if I will start producing shoes for our Frontier Force soldiers. So I'm saying history, people who write history help us to know ourselves. And some people from Lofa, they'll say, oh, we didn't know we had such contribution.
But why don't we honor them? Why don't
Dr. Guanue did that. In other countries, people who write books get rich. They get money from the royalty. How come you go on a Ministry of Education right now, you see Dr. Guanue books there? But his children and his friends had to struggle to be sending money for his upkeep. He should, even at his age, should have been a contributor from money generated from his hard work. But intellectual property is not protected here. Strong, and the man materials are over, but yet he was struggling to meet his medical bills and all of that, to get his daily food, except for his friends contributed. And the government didn't see him as an important person to make contribution to. Dr. Guanue he taught at our university until he was quite old. He was ambassador. He was director of Foreign Service Institute.
Minister of State for President.
He was Minister of State for Presidential Affairs. This man served our country well. And at the end, that's why he gets. Maybe that will motivate some people who are criminal-minded to start stealing when they are in government to prepare for the old age. But that's not the way to go. Dr. Guanue resisted the temptation. As Minister of State, you will find nothing in Dr. Guanue.
I asked Dr. Sawyer one day, is this country worth dying for?
I think so. I think
that is it worth dying for.
It's worth dying for. It's worth dying for the good thing. And fortunately, as a Christian, we had a great example in the only child of God. He said that, and we didn't see him, but we saw Mandela. What did Madiba Mandela say in court? He said, Your Honors, if needs be, I'm prepared to die for this just cause. That's why, if there's time, I'll even sing a song that we're motivated by in Pele, the most widely spoken Liberian language. Pele. I will tell you. The reason why Pele, it shows too that I'm a Liberian. I'm not an ethnicist. You and I are from the same ethnic group, but we don't say that all the good things are for us. All the good things.
There's not a good thing for us.
All the good things. All the good things. The Max Gelata, no. Not only what he talks, but what he does is that all the good things are for everybody.
Thank you very much.
If I are controlling the 3 branches of government,
I'm not going that. I'm not going that. Let's take our break, and when we come, we're just talking about Dr. Saye Guanue. Maybe you might have known something different that we don't know. So you call us on those numbers on 0777 777 EB Live from 50 on Sky 107, or better still, call us on 0777 221 223. Those numbers are pinned on our Facebook page, Sky Communications. Liberian, my special studio guest, the founding father of MOJA, Movement for Justice in Africa, Dr. Togbah Nah Tipoteh. We have with us the presidential aspirant of the Liberian Peoples Party, and an offshoot of MOJA, Councillor Tiawan Gongloe, and our national chairman, Yanqui Zaza.
They have done it again.
What excitement! Share the good news now.
My picking tried to Cote d'Ivoire yesterday, and he still calling me on a number. He still browsing on it all.
Nothing makes me more relaxed than being able to work and stay connected without interruption, whether I am at home or away.
They have done it again.
More travels, more possibilities. With a just released roaming data bundle for travelers to Cote d'Ivoire, Guinea-Conakry, and Mali, you can now stay connected on the go. Dial *535# to activate a plan ranging from $1 for 25 megabytes to $20 for 1 gigabyte. The new roaming data bundle, an offer for you.
Brings you closer to what matters.
Orange.
It's possible, anytime, anywhere. A way to make you smile from ears to ears. With Orange Money new broken fees, you can take off your own sekabagi and keeps you smiling. A smile that comes from the heart. A smile that keeps you ongoing. A smile that lasts forever. More smiles with Makabagi. Discover the Orange Money new broken tariff. Withdraw and transfer money to your loved ones now at less expensive fees and experience more advantage with Orange Money broken tariff.
Orange Money.
After being in the business for more than 20 years, Uptown Garage has all it takes to make your car work best for you. Uptown Garage has brought in all sizes of new quality tires. We also have the efficient and long-lasting Uptown batteries. Uptown Garage has also brought in a state-of-the-art 2022 upgraded diagnostic machine that can easily detect any problem with your car. Don't worry, we can fix it for you. Is your car having any electrical problem? Well, Uptown Garage has a professional electrician from Ghana who is up to the task of programming and solving all of your car electrical problems. Uptown Garage is at the intersection of Broad and Nelson Streets with the Uptown Spare Parts Store on Broad Street side. We have our garage and new showroom at Rehab at the junction of President Weah's residence. For original spark plugs from Japan, oil filters, engine oil, and everything you need to get your car working perfectly, come to Uptown Garage. We give 1 month warranty. We also provide a tow truck free of charge if we are the ones to work on your car. But we can also tow your car anywhere for a fee. Contact Uptown Garage head office on 0777 553317 or 0886 553317 or our rehab branch on 0770 902865. Uptown Garage, your 100% Liberian owned, is here to put a smile on your face.
Yeah. Lucetta Pharmaceuticals, your most trusted pharmaceutical partner, is here to ensure that your pharmaceuticals problems are solved. At Lucetta Pharmaceuticals, we provide the following services: prescription evaluation and dispensing, pharmaceutical medication consultation on drugs-to-drugs interaction, drugs-to-food interaction, allergic reaction symptoms, etc. We improve patients' concordance to minimize treatment failures. Follow-up consultation of treatment progress, malaria rapid diagnostic tests, and rapid blood sugar tests. At Lucetta Pharmaceuticals, our medicines and products are affordable, efficacious, and approved by Liberian Medicines and Health Product Regulatory Authority. Don't forget, we also have baby formulas, cosmetics, and toiletries. Visit us at 2nd Fuller Mansion Building, Coffee Farm, Cardwell, Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., Sunday, 2 to 9 p.m. or call us on 0770-201-215, or you can also send us an email, owner at lucetapharmaceuticals.com. Luceta Pharmaceuticals, our courier service is available to deliver at your convenience.
Thank you very much. We're back on 50-50 on a Tuesday morning on Sky 107.1 FM. We're discussing the man. May his grace, may the spirit of our ancestors be with him. May that inspiration that we received, I wouldn't call it that positive indoctrination of the growing up process of a total person from MOJA, may they be part of him. We're discussing Dr. Joseph Saye Guanue. He died quietly. Great people don't die in fanfare, they die quietly. And we mourn their achievement. That's how he decided to go back to Saye Guanue. Some of y'all was sucking milk. That place is not Sunny Quelle, the Saye Guanue. And Tiawan will know me because
we went to school there.
Carol High, St. Francis, St. Mary's, and
we
Sunny
used
Quelle.
to meet on Fangolo Avenue.
Yes. So I know that place just like I know Lofa. So he died the way he died. My shocking thinking, like I said, I didn't want to make this political. Is this country worth dying for? Doc said, yes. Do it anyway. There's some song that we used to sing. The children of Babylon, they say, how do we sing the song in a strange land? But sometimes we got to sing anyway. So that was Dr. Guanue. I want to hear from you.
I think, you do great things because of your own commitment, your vocation. It's not, you don't do it for what you get, and that's what Dr. Tipoteh taught us by his own lifestyle. This man got PhD at the age of 27 from some of the best schools in the United States, and you could have worked with World Bank or go to New York and work on Wall Street and make money. So I read some people say, the progressive don't build houses, they don't do things, even on the Nimba let's serve. I read something that, that Oguanu does not have a house in Nimba. This other one, that the Tipoteh, they even mistakenly said Dr. Sawyer does not have. I said, but I almost wrote that to say Dr. Tipoteh has a house and Dr. Sawyer has a house, and they could even build better houses. So he worked for people, and they tend to, in the ignorance, laugh at you that you are not an achiever. And so that is a mistake. But money is not everything in life. Again, is poverty of knowledge. That is the worst poverty, because is that Steve Jobs, the guy who died and left $7 billion in the bank?
Steve Jobs.
Yeah, $7 billion. And just before he died, he wrote something to the world. He said, I just want to let you know money is nothing. I'm dying, leaving $7 billion, and I can't live. But the people who impact us, Aberport, we keep reading about Aberport forever. He was not a rich man.
No.
We read about Nelson Mandela forever, Mahatma Gandhi. We read about all the great people. Adam Smith, Karl Marx, all the people who sacrificed their lives and who wrote, so that society cannot live in ignorance. And that was one of them was Dr. Guanue.
So call us on that number on 07777 Better stay calling on 0778-504-169. And the number again is 0778-504-169. He'll be live from 50-50 on Sky 107. Our special studio guest, Dr. Tipoteh, the chairman of the party, Yanqui Zaza, and the presidential aspirant, Councillor Gongloe. Good morning.
Good morning, Timas.
Good morning, my brother. What's your name and where you calling me from?
My name is Jason. I'm calling from Bama, Togbah.
Go ahead.
I want to extend my condolences to the family of Dr. Professor Guanue, and also to the professors who started the struggle together. Today, gone, he left them behind. I'm so privileged today to call on this station where Mr. Togbah Nah Tipoteh seated and gave me the profile of Mr. Guanue. I can remember back that this professor wrote the history of Liberia from 1842 to 1847 to 1986. It is kind of a memory that we'll ever remember in our lives until join him to the day of judgment.
Okay, thank you very much. Call me on that number on 077777107. There's a friend who was calling while we're talking. I will never forget the comment. I'd rather be poor. I'd rather be poor in money, but rich in character. It is a lesson for the century. David Coty sent this to me. Maybe you could not get through, so he decided to say, I'd rather be poor in money, but be rich in my character. Call me on those numbers on 077777107. You'll be live on 5050 on Sky 107, or better still, call us on 0778504169. You'll be live on 5050 as we remember Dr. Joseph Saye Guanue. Let's go to line 5 to talk to our next caller. Good morning.
Good morning, Tima.
Good morning, my brother. What's your name and where are you calling me from?
Tima.
Oh, God.
Go ahead.
Money finish.
You think money finished? Okay, call me on those numbers on 077777107, or you call us on 0778504169. You'll be live on 5050 on Sky 107.1 FM. Our special studio guest, Dr. Tipoteh, Councillor Tiawan Gongloe, and my brother Yanqui Zaza, the national chair of Liberian Peoples Party. Do we have another caller? I want to continue something if the callers are not. So let's look at that. We've talked about him. He's from our stock, the rare breed of Liberians conscious group that bled so that one man will have one vote. What is LPP on one hand, and what is MOJA doing concerning what plans are we making?
Now, there are two types of plans. One plan is to answer the question you raised earlier about why we haven't taken over state power. The other plan has to do with respect to the funeral. Which plan do you mean?
All of the plans.
All the plans. I will take the most important first.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if T. Max Schlatter, sorry if I'm just calling your name.
Go ahead.
If T. Max Schlatter has been determined by our people as a good person, and as a symbol, say, oh, be like T. Max Schlatter. If somebody asked me today, who we really need for leadership, I say, Mary Brownell, and Mary Antoinette Brown Sherman.
Mm-hmm.
Say, but they say, but look at their character. So we said, T. Max Schlatter now is a good person. Will a bad person promote the election of T. Max Schlatter? No. The house called Liberia is on fire because almost everybody is having access to less than $300 Liberian dollars a day. Now, if we expect...
I got to stop you because we have another caller on the line. Good morning.
Good morning.
My brother, what's your name and where are you calling us from?
Yeah, this is Tapet, Emmett Tapet, and I call you from Brownsville this morning.
Go ahead, Emmett.
Let me say hello to our country elders. I refer to them as elders because when you look around now in our country, you only see like the Honorable Gongloe, you see Dr. Togbah Nah Tipoteh, and you just name it. So I'm privileged to have talking to them this morning. I just have a concern on the foreign elders. I listened to one of our local radio stations around here, and I heard like the family members are complaining that since the death of Dr. Guanue, they haven't getting that type of reception from other government or his kinsmen, and so I don't know if our elders ever visited the family since the death of Dr. Guanue, or what is actually obtaining for the family member to come out to complain of such.
Thank you very much. Call me on that number on 077777107, or call me on 0778504169. You'll be live from 5050 on Sky 107. We are remembering Dr. Joseph Saye Guanue, who passed away. The numbers again. Let's go back to the line. Talk to our next caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kimia.
Welcome to the session in studio. And we have a fallen hero, a nationalist, Dr. Saye Guanue, a historian, former vice president of IGNU, And these are enormous contributions. We can name them and the list goes on. He imparted historical knowledge. It has caused us to know our past and the present. So I think his contribution, I think this government should have a pass on this. I say a condolence message to the Guanue family, Liberia, and the people of Mima alive. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Call me on that number on 0777 107. You'll be live on 5050 on Sky 107. Do we have another caller so we can take the last break and go straight to our... Okay, let's go back to line 5. Talk to our next caller. Good morning. The caller is not ready yet. Can we take that last break, Princess?
I just wanted to say on the question of contacting the family, and Dr. Tipoteh and I are on the same page on that. The one person among the people who are taking care of him is Blair Togbah, his nephew, and we are in contact with Blair Togbah. Even Dr. Tipoteh has been guiding him on contacting the government and all of that. That's how we know that the funeral will be on October 15th.
October 15th.
Yeah, so we are very close to the family. I just wanted the caller to know that we are working with the family, and the family knows that.
May I suggest to the callers to try as best as possible to read the newspapers and listen to a show like 5050 with T-Max. Listen to it, and you get information. There's a lot of information in newspapers. I did not call the newspaper. Well, they were read this morning. You find in the front page, in the Daily Observer, the Analyst, and the Inquirer, lots of newspapers. In fact, one of them has been so much republicizing the work that Dr. Guanue did, and they've made an announcement too about the funeral in October. And we're in touch with, as Councillor Gongloe said, in touch with the family here and abroad. And so it doesn't mean to say that we're doing everything, but we're doing that. But the most important thing we have done is that we were with him before he passed away. Some of us will just wait until somebody dies, and then you come rush around and come one for repass and this and that. No, we were with him before he passed away. Like Albert Put, for instance, some of us, after finishing school, were selling the newspapers or Albert Put in the streets. So we can say that much.
Thank you very much. Let's take that last break, and when we come back, we'll go straight to Studio A to Princess to give us comments from our social media users.
They have done it again.
What excitement! Share the good news now.
My picking tried to Cote d'Ivoire yesterday, and he still calling me on a number. He still Brazil on it all.
Nothing makes me more relaxed than being able to work and stay connected without interruption, whether I am at home or away.
They have done it again.
More travels, more possibilities. With a just released roaming data bundle for travelers to Cote d'Ivoire, Guinea-Conakry, and Mali, you can now stay connected on the go. Dial *535# to activate a plan ranging from $1 for 25 megabytes to $20 for 1 gigabyte. The new roaming data bundle, an offer for you.
Brings you closer to what matters.
Orange.
It's possible, anytime, anywhere. A way to make you smile from ears to ears. With Orange Money new broken fees, you can take off your own kabagi and keeps you smiling. A smile that comes from the heart. A smile that keeps you ongoing. A smile that lasts forever. More smiles with Makabagi. Discover the Orange Money new broken tariff. Withdraw and transfer money to your loved ones now at less expensive fees. And experience more advantage with Orange Money broken tariff.
Orange Money.
After being in the business for more than 20 years, Uptown Garage has all it takes to make your car work best for you. Uptown Garage has brought in all sizes of new quality tires, We also have the efficient and long-lasting Uptown batteries. Uptown Garage has also brought in a state-of-the-art 2022 upgraded diagnostic machine that can easily detect any problem with your car. Don't worry, we can fix it for you. Is your car having any electrical problem? Well, Uptown Garage has a professional electrician from Ghana who is up to the task of programming and solving all of your car electrical problems. Uptown Garage is at the intersection of Broad and Nelson Streets with the Uptown Spare Parts Store on Broad Street side. We have our garage and new showroom at Rehab at the junction of President Weah's residence. For original spark plugs from Japan, oil filters, engine oil, and everything you need to get your car working perfectly, come to Uptown Garage. We give 1 month warranty. We also provide a tow truck free of charge if we are the ones to work on your car. But we can also tow your car anywhere for a fee. Contact Uptown Garage Head Office on 0777 553317 or 0886 553317 or our rehab branch on 0770 902865. Uptown Garage, your 100% Liberian owned, is here to put a smile on your face.
They have done it again.
What excitement! Share the good news now.
My pikin tried to Cote d'Ivoire yesterday, and he still calling me on a number. He still browsing on it all.
Nothing makes me more relaxed than being able to work and stay connected without interruption, whether I am at home or away.
They have done it again.
More travels, more possibilities. With a just released roaming data bundle for travelers to Cote d'Ivoire, Guinea-Conakry, and Mali, you can now stay connected on the go. Dial *535# to activate a plan ranging from $1 for 25 megabytes to $20 for 1 gigabyte. The new roaming data bundle, an offer for you.
Brings you closer to what matters.
Orange.
Thank you very much. 50-50 on Sky, 107.1 FM. Now we go straight to Studio A to Princess to read us comments from our social media users. Let me interject here that the comments you're about to hear are not comments written by any staff of Sky Communication, but rather comments from our social media users, people that are using social media to get in contact or participate in the production of the show. So it's now to you, Princess in Studio A.
All right, so I will begin with David Gifler, who writes, good morning, Mr. Jalata, and good morning to the brilliant people of Lufa County, including my beloved brother in studio, Mr. Boki. Thank you guys for the great platform. I do follow from Manjua Market, Waterside. Hilton Wulajedo writes, good morning, T-Max, and good morning to your studio guests. I write from a purple corner in Lockington as a purple defender. Let me applaud Dr. Togbah Nah Tipoteh for accepting your invitation. Dr. Tipoteh and others progressive leaders will be remembered forever. Finally, Dr. Joseph Saye Guanue will be remembered for his historical books towards the generation of Mama Liberia. Setu Kawe Sr. writes, we lost a hero, may his soul rest in peace. Seleki Kamara writes, people with integrities are not celebrated in Liberia. Dr. Tipoteh served as minister in Liberia, but you can't see any massive property at his back. Unlike the likes of these plunderers in our public officials today, in our public office today, they made their dimwit followers believe that the reason these people are not rich is they took their monies abroad. Setu Kawe Senior, he continues, these are the men with strong characters and values, men of honesty and integrity. We are talking about upright men. Glad to see Dr. Tipoteh, Councillor Gongloe, and Chairman Zaza on the show. T-Max, please tell Dr. Tipoteh to write a memo. May Dr. Joseph Saye Guanue rest in peace. Isaac Fire Rights. Good morning, T-Max. Thanks for the great job done. I'm watching from Police Academy Community District 5. Mohammed Passaway writes, Councillor Gongloe and the rest of the guys from the order can do well for our country, but the system can't permit them to do so. The system is poor to the extent that good people are unable to do the right thing. If you try changing the sports system, you are in trouble with your own people. What is the way forward? Joe Mullenberg writes, great. For the Bear writes, certainly that the Tipoteh rich in character and poor in money. We, the rational ones, will always remember you guys as our heroes. Mohammed Passaway writes, T-Max, let me express my sympathy to the Guanue family. Dr. Guanue was a great historian and a committed Liberian. History will forever remember him. May his soul and the souls of all faithful departed rest in peace. And this final one, Princess Y.N. Famula, my deepest condolences to the Guanue's family for their loss. May his gentle soul rest in perfect peace. And that's all for now, T-Max.
Thank you very much, Princess, for the comments you just read. Like I said, those comments are not from Sky, but rather comments from our social media users. Our time is up, so I will go around the table from the chairman of the party, Liberian Peoples Party, to the presidential aspirant. Then I will close with the founding member of not only MOJA, but Liberian Peoples Party. So let me begin with the chairman.
We are pleading with Liberians to remember the legacy of Dr. Guanue. And if we want to make sure that we understand what he stood for, we need to listen to what Dr. Togbah Nah Tipoteh is preaching, to what Councillor Gongloe is saying, and what the party is saying. We are saying we cannot continue to follow this mentality of get rich quick, or that properties of Liberia or of government are elephant meat. It cannot finish. You can eat it and it can finish. Or to believe that when you steal, you are a smart man, you are a good man. And when you leave government without stealing, you are a stupid man. We think we should put those things behind us. Let us look to the values of Dr. Togbah Nah Tipoteh and Dr. Guanue. May his soul rest in peace.
We've heard all kinds of statements that motivate corruption in this country. Like what you tell good or what the good eat. If you don't use your hair, your body suffer. All of that. But we tell the young people not to follow that, to commit themselves to making this country a better place. Wealth, financial wealth is nothing. Moral wealth is stronger. That's what the Bible says. Good name is better than silver and gold. We know of good people who lived 1,000 years ago. We do not know the rich people who live in this world 50 years ago. So we call upon the young people to pattern their lives after people who have lived for society, so that everyone live a better life. Because if you live a better life alone and the people around you are in great degree of poverty, you will not enjoy your life. That's why today in Liberia, the people have fences all over the place. That's not how Monrovia used to be. This place was more peaceful than it is today. But you can build a big fence around your place. If the people are poor and the level of poverty keep increasing, definitely you will not be secure, because the people around you are not secure. That's what Dr. Tipoteh said, love your neighbors as you love yourself. And that is basically what MOJA has been doing to elevate all Liberians generally to a level where at least we'll be happy, because when the majority of the people are happy, peace is sustained.
Thank you again for having us here, Brother T. Max Schlatter. Let me end by saying how we can move from a bad situation to a good situation. We move from a bad situation to a good situation by changing the electoral system, the way in which we elect people. The system we have now is bad because the people who are there conducting the system are making mistakes that violate the Constitution of Liberia. They're violating. I'll just mention 2 mistakes. 2 out of 11 I have mentioned publicly. One is that, according to the Constitution, you need to be asked which country you are a citizen of. I have run for the presidency, and nobody on the election commission asked me which country I'm a citizen of. The other thing too is that you do not get some contract by going against the regulations of the Public Procurement and Concession Commission, known as PPCC. The present Supervisory Election Commission got thermometers for the last election held for United States dollars $183,712. The head of the election commission got it from her brother and stepbrother, and of course now they're pushing for the biometrics. So these are all. I need not mention all the 11 I've shown. But if you do not have a good system, then you will not have good persons being elected. And the problem in Liberia now is that we need to have good people elected. This is why those of us who are sitting here, including Team Extralata, are passing information on so that people can be motivated, so people can be encouraged to come up peacefully and elect good people. And this method is working well. Those who don't think it's working well, look at the 52nd and 53rd legislators. Almost all of them who wanted to go back were not put back. Why were not put back? Because people say, oh, now we know. We put you there to do this. When you got there, you forgot about us. So, Team Extralata, thanks for having us here. And continue your contribution to spread knowledge so that we can change the situation peacefully, non-violently.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Tipoteh. Thank you, Brother Saye, and thank you, our presidential aspirant, Tiawan Gongloe. Let me close this way. It's heartbreaking when people seem to be very, very ungrateful. Why do people make sacrifices? For the betterment of the guy who is the downtrodden, so that his life will be better than your life. The guy was sacrificing. That's why each day we hoped to see a better generation. Unfortunately, in Liberia, the old generation is more educated, more smart, more conscious than the present generation. I'm not cursing you because my children are in this generation. So let's remember the good that people do. Little things they do that uplift society. I was reading something about William Wordsworth Longfellow in the book called, in this piece called The Sum of Life. He said, tell me not in mournful numbers, life is but an empty dream. For the soul that's dead that slumbers, and things are not what they seem. Things are not what they seem. They might seem so flowery and so glamorous. Things are not what they seem. In spite of that, he said, life of great men all remind us, and we can make our lives sublime. And departing leaves behind us footprints on the sands of time. Jesus said in one of his writing, this world is not our home. The emiology said we're just passing through. So humanity, the mankind is always in transition. The life we live is the life that praises and that praises us, or what our standards and characters are. Guanue for a good fight. The day I saw him, the day I interacted with him, it was drinking from the fountain of knowledge of selflessness. I missed him. But MOJA is always revolving. After us will be greater guys will come for the inspiration and the conscientization of society. We're not selfish. We might be poor in riches, but rich in character. It's all that matters. On that note, we come to the end of this edition of 50/50. My name is Steve Max. Tomorrow morning again, I'll be here to discuss another issue, not for wealth, but make our country a wholesome functioning society. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.